and then you can just catch a train here, so that's another way of coming here. So I haven't slept last night, and believe it or not, I'm going back to London tonight by coach. So it's probably about 36 hours without sleep. Why am I doing this? Because I agree with Sir Aldo, Sir Alvin. This space must always have people here. We really can't leave this space empty. So if you have any time over the next few weeks, over the next few months, even if you just come here, visit Amsterdam, to immigration, they asked me what was the purpose of my visit. And I said, I've got a picnic at The Hague. And then she kind of smiled and saw my Filipino jacket. And that's the thing, you know, the authorities have also been really accommodating. You know, they allow us that freedom of speech. And we have this, obviously Aldo's arranged for this permit here. As I said, you know, it's, although we physically can't go in the prison, I'm sure it's a very lonely place for the former president to be there. From what I understand, he has quite a small cell, although he has his ensuite bath facilities. It's a really small area. And I believe in my heart, having met him, if there was nobody here, it wouldn't send out a good message. But by having you here, although you're not in the prison, it's a massive effort by you guys. And I know that it really makes a difference. You know, it speaks volumes to the authorities, to the prison authorities, to the police, to the government, and even to the ICC. You know, tourism must have increased to Amsterdam. There must be more Filipinos here than there have ever been. And I think that's wonderful. I think we've turned this into a picnic, almost. People say to me, like, I think Odoba Chronicles said I was the Duterte fanatics leader or worshipper or something like that. I don't see it like that. I just see myself as a British citizen married to a Filipina who loves the Philippines very much. And having met, and amazing you guys, OFWs, nurses, whatever jobs you do, you know, Filipinos make a massive contribution to the world stage. And as I said recently, I think the world will be a darker place without Filipinos. Anyway, really quickly, let me go ahead and just say what I'm going to say. It's a long time to September. And I really wish that initially when the former president was arrested, as I've said before, I really wish that he'd have been held in Davao into some kind of house arrest, because I don't understand the reason why they've flown him thousands of miles, an elderly man, 80, with multiple medical conditions. I don't know why they've thrown him thousands of miles for what was a 25-minute hearing just to confirm his name and make sure they got the right person. I understand the wheels of justice may flow, but to me that sounds really ridiculous. You know, we've got Zoom technology. I don't understand why he couldn't have stood in front of a camera in front of Zoom technology, confirmed who he was, and then come here in September instead. You know, I do worry that the longer he stays here, away from his family, away from his long loved ones, the more detrimental effect it's going to have on his mental health. And I know he gets thousands of cards and thousands of messages of support, but all I would say to everyone here is please don't give in. Please tell all your friends, please tell all your relatives, please make an effort to come here. If you need directions, please speak to Sir Alvin. I know he did a post on Facebook that I used myself. That was incredibly helpful. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for your efforts in continuing with this. I will continue with my social media campaign, despite the bashers, despite the death threats, despite people making fun of me, because I believe it's the right thing to do. And I hope and pray that former President Duterte is one day freed and is able to go back to Davao. You know, God forbid, if he was found guilty, God forbid, any lengthy prison sentence, sad to say this, and I know it's terrible, could be a virtual death sentence. And the EU doesn't have a death penalty. So why are they subjecting an elderly man for years and years, which is how long this case may last for, in the prison? You know, why not deal with this another way? You know, of course he's got questions to answer, and I get that. But he even said he invited the ICC to come to the Philippines to investigate. I think the way it was carried out is not appropriate. It's not for me to speak about the case. But all I can say is I pray for him and I pray for his family, and I really hope and pray that this ordeal and this captivity that the president now faces is over soon. Anyway, thank you so much for coming here. Maraming salamat. Thanks to Sir Albin, Sir Aldo.
Thank you.
And
Thank
best
you,
wishes, and of course, Mabuhay Filipinos. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. My God.
All right, thank you, Sir Malcolm, for a very nice speech and for the support.
Thank you for supporting po.
Former President Rodrigo Duterte, and I hope to see you more, sir, coming here. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So now we will have.
It's very
I
nice
think I've
to be
already
here.
talked so much. So